Hello, witchy ones. Reverend Throatman here again. It's been a while, and I realized I said in my last video that my New Year's resolution was going to be to make a video every week, and well, I did for the first 3 weeks. But then when I went back and looked at the videos, I realized that because I had not yet registered my YouTube account via my cell phone, I couldn't upload videos longer than a certain length of time. So when I did that, my videos were allowed to be uploaded, but then in my uploaded videos list, there was still like this kind of null and void version of the videos I'd uploaded before, so I tried deleting those, thinking that I'd just get rid of that null and void version, which actually deleted the videos that worked as well. So then I was like, well, shit. what was that for? So then I just kind of lost hope and gave up, but only temporarily. I was like, whatever. I didn't want to go over and friggin' record that all over again, so anyway, here we are. Enough rambling and enough excuses. Today I wanted to talk about what witchcraft really is and can be and means to me as a witch. And I'm a fanatic of language. I love language so much. I speak quite a few. I speak French and Spanish and Japanese. I can read Sanskrit, kind of. I understand a lot. I chant a lot of Sanskrit. And so I figured what better way to start this little discourse on witchcraft than to kind of give the listener a briefing on its origins, its etymological origins. So many pagans and witches and Wiccans and the like will know that the origins of the word witch are very, very old. They've been traced back to Old German and Gothic and Anglo-Saxon, possibly even before, but it gets very obscure once you get past those. Now, in Old Gothic and German languages, it can be seen to be traced back to words such as wick and weg. And wick kind of meant something to the effect of to bend and to curve, to flex, and weg meant to move, to kind of gesture, but usually it was in like a mysterious manner. It meant to move in a mysterious way, you know. And we still actually use the word weg today, albeit for a slightly different meaning, but it still gets across the same action, to wag your finger when a dog wags his tail. Then in Old English, one can find the word Wicca. It's spelled Wicca, or Wicca, but it's pronounced the exact same way, almost the exact same way. Witche was the feminine version of witch, it's a female witch, and then Wicca, W-I-C-C-A, was the masculine, the male witch. W-I-C-C-E, feminine, W-I-C-C-A, masculine. And then Witchen, W-I-C-C-A-N, was the plural. And this is where we find the word Wicca in Old English. It just wasn't pronounced Wicca. Now, this was used to refer to the practitioners of witchcraft, but witch was actually a word which also meant wise, wisdom, and kind of occulted, one who knows the wise ways, the occult knowledge, the person who is consulted. And once Christianity kind of took more of a foothold in Western Europe, it started to become connotated with more negative things, such as the mal-wishing of your neighbors and incantations to demons and worshipping the devil and making contracts with questionable entities, which are all Christian concepts basically designed to scare people away from paganism, as most people know. But when you take into consideration that witch literally originally meant wise, knowledge, learned, flexible, and moving, and you combine that with the word craft, you come to realize that witchcraft is far more than what people immediately think of when they think of the word witchcraft. Most people think of, like, casting spells and dancing under the moon and spinning naked around a bonfire in the middle of the night, which, don't get me wrong, it does happen, and that is witchcraft, but it's so much more than that. Witchcraft is so much more than that, guys. You see, witchcraft is... it's the craft of the wise, but it's also... it's defined in modern terms by a few different people in a number of different ways. One of the most well-known definitions of magic or witchcraft is by Aleister Crowley, and it's one of the definitions that I subscribe to myself, and that is the art and practice of causing change to occur in conformity with will. Now think about that. Think about that statement for a second. To cause change to occur in conformity with the will. Now, if that is not the entirety of most human beings' ultimate life goal, in whatever they're doing, then I'm a microwave oven. Because that's all anyone wants, is for change to occur in accordance to their will. Witchcraft is not just casting spells, you see. Witchcraft is acting in accordance with your highest will. It's manifesting your truest part of yourself for not only yourself but for the world around you. Because when you practice witchcraft, in the climax of any act of witchcraft, any act of change, any act of true loving change coming from the true will, the highest will, one realizes that they're not separate from what they're changing. They're part of what they're changing, and as such, they're part of everything. And that to me is true witchcraft. It's making a difference in the world in a positive way that is true to your will, true to your highest will. That is witchcraft. You don't have to go cast a circle, you don't have to go light a candle, you don't have to pray to the gods and goddesses. Everyone practices witchcraft, whether they know it or not. Anyone who listens to their intuition, anyone who knows what their ideal is, they are practicing witchcraft. That is what witchcraft is. They're being truly wise. They are reacting flexibly to the world around them in order to bring about the changes that they want to see in accordance with their highest will. That is witchcraft. It's a very inclusive, pervasive concept. It's not something reserved for a select few. It's something that is universal. In my tradition, it's believed that everyone is constantly subconsciously practicing magic, and that learning the art of witchcraft is nothing more than learning to consciously practice magic rather than subconsciously, because energy is all around us and it's affected by our thoughts and emotions constantly. Learning to focus your thoughts and emotions in a certain way, in accordance with a certain intent, which ideally would be in accordance with your highest will, that is learned witchcraft. That is the wisest of witchcrafts. And that's what witchcraft can be. So many people get caught up in this idea of it being spells and tinctures and tisanes and talismans and potions and ritual baths and worship and meditation, when those things are useful and important in their own ways, but it's not... if you think that's what witchcraft is, you're missing the point. It's about progress. It's about evolving. It's about knowing yourself and how you can benefit the world around you and the people in the world. Now, if there's anything I want people to understand about witchcraft, it's that. People in all religions, people without religion, people in every walk of life, they practice magic, they practice witchcraft, whether knowingly or unknowingly. And what many people don't realize is that witchcraft is their highest ideal. The craft of the wise, the craft of the flexible, the craft of the learned, the craft of the occulted. That is the highest ideal for people to follow. It is their true love, their true sense of self and sense of connection to the world around them. And when people become disconnected from that, their life starts to kind of get chaotic. It starts to fall around them. And that's not necessarily their circumstances, but it's the way they perceive their circumstances. That's what I mean by it starts to fall down around them. Because you can be having the worst circumstances in the world, but if you are looking at it through the lens that teaches, rather than the lens that pities and wallows in self-doubt, if you learn to look at it through through learning lenses, you're progressing, and you're helping yourself. It's that connects you. It's that keeps you here, keeps you grounded, and keeps you looking upwards and forwards, rather than downwards and backwards. So I've been thinking about that kind of out loud to myself for the past few days here, and I just wanted to get that out. Thanks for listening. I hope it was insightful. I hope you kind of took something away from that. Comment below, subscribe, like. You can follow me on Facebook, Christian Jarvis, just add a TIAN. And yeah, thanks for listening. Blessed be and merry part.